Oh, I forgot. Hey, folks. Right. I'm a bit late starting because I had some bits and pieces to do. This lamp is broken, or there we go. The bulb in it is gone. Oh, that's the thing. There we go. That should give us plenty of light. Enough at the very least. I will go fix this. I will buy a new bulb for this lamp at some point. But yeah, it just sort of flickers and does nothing. But I've had it for a couple of years at this point, so it makes sense that it's gonna conk out around this kind of time. Sound appears to be working. Great. Good to see. So, I'm starting a new monster project again. I'm going to be doing plant creatures. I'm not going to be doing quite as much on stream this time around. There's going to be a lot of stuff that gets done off camera. Just because I don't want to be like hard bound to working on this like once or twice a week, especially with the way that my schedule is all over the fucking place at the moment. So like these streams have been really spotty over the past few weeks. And are probably going to continue to be for the foreseeable future, to be perfectly honest. Just because I have so much shit going on right now. I have big projects sort of in the back that are like either stalled or now just getting started again after having been stalled for a really fucking long time. Yeah, it's and I've just got like a whole bunch of stuff just going on. Nothing bad. I've said multiple times already. No bad stuff's going on. It is just a lot of stuff. So, and this has taken this is in the boot. It's not in the back seat. Streaming is in the boot right now. I am when I can, and I'm going to continue doing so when I can. But if I can't, I'm not gonna, Either way. This is a book about plants. Plants are probably there's probably the second least populous creature type in the game. Second only to oozes, which I definitely want to do a book on at some point because I like oozes. I think oozes are very cool, especially given how boring some of the oozes we do have actually are. I don't know how I'm going to necessarily get a book of oozes out, like a whole 40-page book of 50 monsters, but I'll see what I can do. But Flower, what this book is going to be called, is all about plant creatures. Again, there's not many plant creatures in 5e. There's, I think, only about a couple dozen, maybe at a push. Let's take a look. Core and supplements, plant creatures. Yeah, it's like 2 dozen, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24, 25, 26. 26, yeah, I was actually spot on. Oh, well, almost spot on anyway. I mean, I guessed 2 dozen and there's 26 of them, so that's probably as close as I can reasonably be expected to guess. That's pretty alright. And a lot of them are a part of a subtype, or they're like a weaker creature made by a pre-existing creature. Like there's a bunch of animated, there's like an animated tree and an awakened tree, which are oh no, the animated tree is from Wildmount as well, so that basically doesn't count either. It's cut Wildmount. I think Strixhaven has 1 plant in it. Has the Bayou Groff. Oh, it has the Groff and it has Brackish Trudge. That's the Trudge. It is violently uninteresting. The Groff is actually vaguely interesting. Not that interesting, but it's, it's somewhat interesting. Yeah, so there's 20, 26, 27. So on my list that I have off to the side here are a bunch of 3.5 monsters. plans. I need to actually sort this. This list is just in a random order, basically. Expanding groups like treants. There's one treant stat block in this game, and I'm like, well, treants are like a whole thing. There should be, like the different kinds of giants, there should be lots of different kinds of treants. There should be a treant, there should be an elder treant, there should be a treant druid, there should be, all of this other stuff, like treant spellcasters, an evil treant of some kind. I don't know how that would work necessarily, but, myconids. We need more myconids. We need a myconid spellcaster. We need, we have the myconid sovereign. Why is there not a myconid, like, emperor or whatever? Like, it's like a super massive myconid. What else we got in here? New blight creatures, which are actually mostly going to be reprints from De Avenir's Pocketbook to Ravenloft, which is a book I put out a couple months ago. No, last month, the end of last month. No, start of last month. It's about a month ago now. There's a whole bunch of new blight creatures for one of the domains, Malbor, and I want to reprint them in this book. They're all pretty cool. There's like the reprinting the tree blight from Curse of Strahd. Printing the a new printing a Golthia's tree, like an official, like as a creature, a Golthia's tree, and a whole different group of blights, bringing them up from like their lowest of like CR2 up to like CR5 or 6, I think. I can't remember whether it's like that sort of CR range anyway. A whole bunch of cool creatures from 3.5. And I want to do a tumbleweed monster because I really like tumbleweeds. I think they're funny. I'm not sure how that's going to necessarily work, but I want to do something with it. So I think where I want to start is I want to do... There is a 3.5 monster that I actually kind of like because it's kind of silly. It's called the Tendriculoses. And with a name like that, I think you can probably tell why I kind of like it. Because it's really fucking stupid. It's a stupid name. Let me see if there are assets of it in... Because I swear there's like... There are like... The Tendriculoses is like one of the monsters that I have as an art asset kicking around here somewhere. I swear. The Tendriculoses. I know what I'm looking for. Well... I can also look through this. It's something I haven't done yet, is gone through the free assets folder for the DMG. There's the Topiary Guardians. I'm definitely doing those guys. They're exactly what they sound like. Hang on. Here we go. These guys are fantastic. This is also really high quality art as well. A lot of the art in these books is just to be a bit wank, and I don't really want to use it. Oh, there's the Dread Guard. I remember these things. I'm definitely going to be using those. It's not in this folder. There's several folders of this shit, so I'm going to be scrolling for a while. It's not in here. Number 3, is it? Because I may have just seen this art, and I may not actually have access. Ooh. Ooh, that's a monster. It's from Monster Manual 2. It's a fly trap. Why have I not put that down as a monster? I'm putting that in. I need to find out what the name of this monster actually is. Hydrovise? No. Hang on. It's a cool monster either way. Let me check in here. It's It's not called a fly trap, so I don't know where to go looking for it. I'll just scroll, see if I can find it. So I want to find out what this thing is called. This is very uninteresting, I know, but I'm hyper fixated on this now. This is what we're doing. I'm not going to do that first, but I want to find the monster that I'm looking for and find out what it's called and write it on my list of things to convert because it looks really cool. Hang on, let me get the art so you've got actually something to fucking look at. Here we go. Look at this thing. I think it's cool as hell. I like the legs. It looks like an MMO monster, and I'm saying that as a compliment, which I normally would not do because most MMO monsters are generic as all balls. There's some lore for you. I really don't like MMOs. Like just on principle, I just hate them. No, this folder is full of just like art of like dudes. There's some gnolls, but I mean gnolls are dudes, so humanoid dudes, I guess is the. Yeah, it's not gonna be a Tendriculus in here. These are all dudes. That's a shame. I won't be able to use the art for the Tendriculus, but that's okay. Oh, I found it. I found something similar. A green vise? Is that what it's called? Kind of a generic name, but that might just be what it's called. Yep, it's called a green vise. Close that. Right. Let me go find the Tendriculus. I can show you the art, I just can't use it. Wait, has the Tendriculus... This is the Tendriculus. Look at him. He's a big guy. He's got his. He's like. I don't know. He's doing the. He's doing fucking weirdo gestures. I just think he's really charming. I think he's. Plant creatures are always so simple in like such a charming way. I think they're really dumb. Tendriculus is best known for possessing an extremely rapid regenerative ability. I think the main problem is that this thing is just kind of a grapples you and swallows you creature, which is like, you know, there's nothing wrong with it conceptually, but they are like, it's so overdone. They're also very similar to shambling mounds. I'm gonna need to give them some identity that isn't just they grab you and then they eat you, because that's not interesting, like, at all, right? Like it's just not interesting. Right, let's find out what monster manual is the Tendriculus in. Oh no, I can just Google it and it'll be in a 3.5 like index somewhere. Yep, here we go, found it. Yep, immediately. So I don't want to just give it troll regeneration, you know, because that's not interesting at all. I'll tell you why, something I hadn't done. I turned on the bot. Should do that. Makes a very annoying noise, I know. It's loading. Oh, regeneration is... Oh, it's a keyworded special ability. Oh, move that out of the way. Is an extraordinary ability. Recover from wounds. Damage dealt to the creature is treated as non-lethal damage, and the creature automatically cures itself of non-lethal damage at a fixed rate per round, as given in the creature's entry. Certain attack forms, typically fire and acid, deal damage to the creature normally. That sort of damage doesn't convert to non-lethal damage, and so doesn't go away. Wow, regeneration is weird. It's 3.5. Let's just give it regen 10. And then we'll see where we go from there. This thing is bludgeoning and acid, which I think is stupid. We're just going to do acid. Because that's silly. Let me grab text for a regenerating monster. Oh, let's grab the troll, because that has actually basically the text I want. Oh. Tendriculoses. Huge plant. Unaligned? Are they particularly stupid? They have an intelligence of 3. Yes, they are. That's unsurprising. They are plants. The Tendriculous regains 10 points. If the Tendriculous takes acid damage, this trait doesn't function at the start of the Tendriculous' next turn. So yeah, it has troll regeneration, which is not that interesting. I'm gonna be honest, but it is a unique thing that it can do. So, you know, or well, it's a semi-unique thing that it can do. It definitely needs some other kind of sort of pizzazz that isn't just, you know, stuff that other monsters can already do. It probably does not speak any languages, I'm going to make an assumption. Doesn't actually say. Yeah, just straight up doesn't say. Which is weird, because I know 3.5 things, because I've been slowly converting Red Hand of Doom to run for my home group for a little while now, and plant traits? What are plant traits? Oh, hang on, plant is tagged. Low light vision, immunity to all mind-affecting effects, immunity to poison, not subject to critical hit, proficient with its natural weapons only, proficient with no armor, plants breathe and eat but do not sleep. Oh. Well, I'm going to assume this thing doesn't speak any languages. I'm going to make the educated decision that they don't. Has low light vision. Damn, this. I was like, well, this thing has a strength of 28, but no, that's just how 3.5 works. It's like, instead of just like linear progression of stats, your stats are almost like logarithmic. Is logarithmic the word I'm thinking of? Rhythmic. No, it's the what is the opposite of logarithmic? You know what I mean, though. Like it's like a exponential kind of thing. paralyze you? Oh, that must be just like the keyword for like grabbing and restraining you. Oh. Plant nature. Unusual nature. The Tendriculous doesn't require sleep. Ugh. Don't mind me. Oh, just casually dying. That was unpleasant. Ugh. What do shambling mounds have? That's probably the best. They have blind sight and they have shambling mound. Well, the Tendriculus doesn't have any eyes, so I'm going to say it has blind sight. I'm not even sure if blind sight is a thing in 3.5. Actually, not sure at all. So got like black dragons or something. Nope, it just doesn't list it. Cool. Okay. Whatever. It has blind sight. Stat-wise, what are we looking at? Well, let's go 22. Let's make it strong. Has a dex of 9. Makes sense. Has a con of 22, so let's bring it down to 18 for the sake of sanity. Intelligence of 3. I believe that's -4. I think. Whiz of 8. That makes sense. And a charisma of also 3. Check the shambling mound and see if that sort of weirdly runs counter. Nope, that tracks. Stealth proficiency. How fast is the Tendriculus? 20 feet. It's pretty slow. probably have a climb speed. Let's give it spider climb. Oh no, it's 10, it's... Oh shit. I don't want to do that. It's just with an O. Let me check and make sure I got that right. Yep, I got it. Nice. It says regeneration as spider climbing has its unusual nature. No. A climb speed does not mean you can automatically climb surfaces. Most likely, yeah. In 5e, climbing a surface, you climb at half speed if you don't have a climb speed, and if you do have a climb speed, you use the climb speed instead. Like, not all surfaces require an ability check, but most do. If it's like a really, if it's like, like a really, like a shallow rocky incline of like 10 feet with like copious handholds or whatever, then you could probably make it with no check, but it's entirely DM's discretion. There's actually like very little guidance on like how that shit. It's like one of the things I actually want to like codify in my home game of like exactly what the DCs for like climbing and swimming are. Like climbing difficult surfaces and swimming over like gaps and stuff like that. It really depends on how you play it, because if you play 5e close enough, as close as you are comfortable with rules as written, it's a pretty tight system. There's a few very, as with literally every single edition of the game, there are weird noodly things that like, why did they make this work this way, or why is there no guidance on this? Yeah, like having played it for a very long time, it is a pretty tight system if you play it the way it was intended to be played, and if you don't, you will probably run into some problems. The new 5e Spelljammer, or yeah, so that's more of a problem of the new Spelljammer book. Basically all the recent D&D books have had like, like basically all the recent D&D books have gorgeous art, and they have like huge art budgets, but they're like half the size of all the books from like a couple of years ago, and basically all their content is shit. Wild Beyond the Witchlight is very good. It has some problems, but it's very good. It's very, very good. I'd say it's my number 2 adventure for 5th edition. I think it is probably the second best 5th edition adventure. Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft is very, very good. But to my understanding, I think every single other book that's been released pretty much since the pandemic started. I guess Tasha's as well. Tasha's is like pretty alright, but it is kind of, it's light on non-player content. Unlike Xanathar's, which has like, Xanathar's feels like the unofficial version 1.1 patch of 5th edition. It's so good. Xanathar's is like objectively the best 5e book. Oh yeah, no, that's like a given. You basically have to. Van Richten's less so. It's just the really OP lineage races are in there. But yeah, like Xanathar's and Tasha's have like all of the good class content in it. Like, if you can think of a good 5e subclass, it's probably from Xanathar's or Tasha's. Probably Xanathar's. No, that's a lie. The Tasha subclasses are mostly pretty good. There's like 2 really horrible ones, but I think like my personal biggest problem with 5e is that a lot of the stuff in the PHB is just kind of wank. It's just not very interesting or just kind of bad. Hexblade is just the tip of the iceberg, my man. Don't get me wrong, Hexblade should not have been printed the way that it was, but nowadays Hexblade is there's much worse. I think the main thing is you can. Yeah, I think the main thing is that like all 3 of them, Hexblade much less so. Nowadays, Hexblade is definitely overtuned, but compared to like Twilight and Peace, it's a drop in the bucket. Twilight and Peace are like. Peace is just kind of badly designed. Twilight is massively overloaded, and all of its features are way too good. Aside from the ones that are just kind of whatever. Like the channel divinity that you get. No, it's not even a channel divinity, is it? It's just a feature at first level. The one that gives temp every turn is insane. I've certainly like my home game is heavily modified from like heavy, all kinds of homebrew, lots of balance changes, but basically just like getting the game to like fine tuning it to exactly how I would want it, and I think 5e is very approachable on that front. I think it's there's a lot of little tweaks you can make to make it just how you like it, and that you don't need like 7 years of like fucking design experience to do. There's like really little things you can do, and then there's huge overscope shit. Spirit Guardians is fine. Spirit Guardians is only busted if you don't run enters the area for the first time rules properly. Speaking from experience, for a very long time of specifically going like, no, I'm not going to run it properly. It's not the be all and end all of everything. I think the main problem with the cleric list is that like there is a specific subset of like 15 spells that are just so good or that are like just better than all the others, or they're just really, really good. There's Healing Word, there's Spiritual Weapon, there's Bless, Shield of Faith, Sanctuary, Aid, Spirit Guardians, to a lesser extent Guardian of Faith, Mass Healing Word, Mass Cure Wounds, obviously Gentle Repose, because you don't prepare Revivify or Raise Dead, you prepare Gentle Repose. Healing Word is the best spell in the game. Just I'll say Healing Word is categorically the best spell in the game. with gritty realism, if you're running no healing spell does. Healing in 5e sucks. Like, it's just bad. Healing in 5e is just like categorically bad. If you're not healing a creature on 0 hit points, you wasted your spell slot. That's I'm not sure how the math lines up in Gritty Realism. I can't remember. I don't remember even. I remember the rest times was Gritty Realism. Assuming you're using the ones from the DMG, that is. And let's see if I can find it. I might have it on hand. Yeah. I think it's it's more that depending on how your DM runs the game, you just probably shouldn't play a spellcaster in Gritty Realism, to be honest. It's the game isn't really designed for it unless your DM heavily adapts their playing style to run for it, then playing spellcaster just isn't worth it as far as I'm concerned. I like Gritty Realism as a fix for the 5-minute adventuring day, because it means that you can have one encounter per day, and that still means that your players are going to be burning through resources, rather than, yeah. Oh, the exhaustion on... Okay, exhaustion on up isn't a part of Gritty Realism. I was going to say, I thought it was unfamiliar, but yeah, no, that's... I've definitely seen that rule floated around a lot. I don't think it's something I would try personally, just because, like, healing is already shit in 5e. I personally think there's no reason to make it any worse. I plan on trying Gritty Realism the way I want to run it, which is, allowing me to, like, run the 5-minute adventuring day and it not cause problems at the table. But, see, I don't see how it makes them any better is the problem. I can't imagine, certainly off the top of my head, any spell that is made good by Gritty Realism. Maybe Catnap, but even then, Catnap is still not very good. It makes Catnap okay, as opposed to just kind of bad. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I'm honestly kind of fine with the 5-minute adventuring day. I unless it's a very specific campaign where I'm like really trying to like hammer home some kind of like some form of grit. I kind of don't mind it. I understand why people don't like it. It's sensible why they don't, but it doesn't bother me that much. Like, there's campaigns where I will specifically go to work around it, but otherwise I don't mind. Right. I'm going to carry on with the Tendriculus. I mean, it depends entirely on how you view it. If you hyper focus on that kind of stuff, then yes, it does. But if you don't, then it doesn't. It depends entirely on perspective. Because if you choose to focus on something that could be immersion breaking, then it's immersion breaking. But if you don't, then it doesn't. There's plenty of other things in the game that are equally, if not more so, immersion breaking. Like the very concept of a spell slot is kind of nonsense. But if you really try to hyper focus on why it doesn't make sense, you can have it ruin your experience and grow to hate spell slots. But it's the kind of thing you can not think about it because you don't need to. Yes, it makes zero sense that a character can lose hit points and recover, but you can also just recontextualize hit points as a form of luck. If you run out of hit points, it means you actually get injured. Not, like all of the, if you lose 10 hit points, it means oh, I almost got hit, or oh, I got hit, but it didn't actually like cut me or cause me any serious harm. It's all minor scrapes and bruises, and then when you drop to 0, oh, I've actually been stabbed now. I'm like seriously injured. Like if it like I kind of go half and half in the middle but it entirely depends on how you frame it. Yeah, I mean, again, that's your contextualization as to why they make sense. I think they're fine. I was just an example of like a mechanic I just pulled off the top of my head. I don't have a problem with spell slots. I think they're fine. I think they're actually they're a good system of just from a game design standpoint. It's all perspective of like what's realistic and what isn't is entirely down to what you choose to focus on. There's yeah. I mean, again, yeah, that's if it is immersion breaking for you, then it is, and there's not much that you can do about that other than do what you've done, which seems to be working fairly well by the sounds of things. But that kind of stuff doesn't bother me. To my understanding, doesn't bother any of the players at my table, and I think I would say a lot of people's tables, but that's not necessarily true. I don't have a fucking peer-reviewed study to say that, but it's the kind of thing where like if you care about it, then it matters, and if you don't care about it, then it doesn't. And I'm sort of somewhere. I mostly don't really care too much, but like I don't have any kind of nostalgia for older editions of the game beyond like this old monster is cool or whatever. I started with 4th edition in 2013 or so, and I played very little of it because I didn't really have anyone to play with, and then I properly started with 5th edition. Yeah, I again, like the immersion, you can be just as immersed. There are many tables who, speaking from experience of running a table where we kind of don't care about that kind of stuff, and everybody at the table gets very invested in the game. And if I used your rules about like not getting hit points in a long rest, which I actually think is kind of cool, I like that. I don't think I'd necessarily use it, but I like it. It's not one I've seen before. I don't think. I don't think I have anyway. And also makes hit dice more useful, which is always good. But the people in my game are immersed regardless of whether being healed after a long rest makes any sense or not. Cracking all the joints in my I don't know, body, I guess. Right. Let's say 3.5 monster. So a lot of this book is going to be new plants, revamped plants from 5e, and reimagined plants from older editions. The Tendriculous, it may be from an early edition. It's probably from 2nd. No, it's just from 3.5. Cool. It is this thing with the big thorny mouth. It has troll-style regeneration, where I guess most regeneration in 3.5 is like you have to do a specific kind of damage, otherwise it doesn't. Otherwise it just keeps regenerating. It has the ability to swallow you, which is kind of overdone in 5e. I'm still going to transfer it across because it makes sense. This thing is fucking massive and eats things. But I wanted to give it something else, because there's a lot of monsters in 5e that have tentacles. They grab you, they bite you, and then they swallow you as a part of the bite. There's a froghemoth, which is another creature. The Kraken does it. beheres, like, yeah, it's fine when they have it. It's more that when it's literally the only thing that they've got. Like, I think of, like, good monsters that have that. I think of, like, the Roper, which is, like, kind of, it's almost categorized. It's thematically that, I guess, is or the Glabrizu, which is one of the demons, where it has that ability, but it also has a pretty deadly, like, series of attacks and a bunch of really dangerous spells. It's like a CR7 creature with power word stun. Like, it's pretty brutal. I really like Glabrizus. I want to use one again. I used one as like an arc boss in a campaign I ran years ago. I want to use one again. Yeah, it has confusion and power word stun. Oh, it's CR9. CR9, not CR7. But yeah. So, AC... I also have to sort of go the mile and not make this thing exactly like a shambling mound. Because shambling mounds have a grapple on hit effect that's actually really fucking interesting. It's completely unique to the shambling mound as well. The engulf effect is a whole other thing. It works similarly to being swallowed, but it's a different feel. Has a unique multi attack as well. Any monster with a unique multi attack is good in my book. Yeah, that's probably my honestly my number 2 issue with honestly most editions of D&D, where like the monsters are just kind of like, they slap you around a bit. They're big old bags of hit points that punch you. Some of them have cool unique abilities, but most of the ones that have it are just kind of bad. Otherwise they have the one unique thing that they do, and otherwise they just suck. Let's make monsters that are dynamic as shit. I think it's sort of like the idea that like a lot of monsters are like designed with the idea that like, ooh, you can play theater of the mind, and it's like most people do not play any edition of D&D in theater of the mind because it locks out like most of the tactical aspect of the game. And if you're designing monsters, the people who are going to care about you buying the book with the monsters in it, or caring about the monsters that you make and share, are going to be the people who care about the tactical aspect of the game, and therefore do not play Theatre of the Mind. So I say, I don't care if this monster doesn't work in Theatre of the Mind. I don't know, imagine a 50-foot cube. Oh yeah, easily. So, makes 2 tendril attacks. Yeah. It's the 3 pillars is like, if you think about it in like a rules perspective, the combat pillar is the only one that exists. The role-playing pillar kind of doesn't need to exist, as far as I'm concerned. I think I think the I always consider D&D as an engine for role playing. It facilitates it, it justifies it, it contextualizes it. It doesn't provide rules for role playing, because I don't like games that give me rules for how my character feels, or it tells me, or gives me rules on like my character's like emotional state or whatever. I don't like Call of Cthulhu. I don't want to have a fucking meter that says how insane my character is. I think that's dumb. I think that removes my agency from my own character's role-playing. Like, a lot of games that are fundamentally about role-playing have, like, these really weird restrictive rules on how you can role-play, thus making it worse for free-form role-play than a game like 5e, or any edition of D&D, which has basically no rules. It's just a free-for-all. You say and do whatever you want, and your DM says, okay, yeah, that sounds reasonable. You've made a good argument to me as a person playing this character. roll your check, you roll your one ability check with advantage. Like, I think that's fantastic. It encourages people to actually, like, you know, actually roleplay instead of just use the role-playing action that's written down in the rules. And then the Pillar of Exploration is actually, like, really drastically underrepresented in 5e. There's a lot of things that inhibit it from kind of working. A lot of spells that make it completely pointless. Yeah. Frightened's a bit finicky. Like, I don't mind Frightened when it's, like, magically induced. You know, when you're, like, magically terrified and, like, oh god, this, you know, like, that makes sense. But, yeah, when it's, like, a non-magical thing, it does feel kind of weird. Whenever I design a non-magical form of Frighten, I make it so that they can still move closer, but they move at half speeds because you're, like, kind of tentatively moving closer to it, or something like that. That's sort of how I generally will design it. 2 tendril attacks. Let's make the tendril attack. Has a reach of... How long is this thing's arms? Yeah, and then they completely, they completely invalidate it by making themselves so good at it that doing it is pointless in the first place. Basically, all forms of exploration, the exploration rules in 5e aren't that bad. They're pretty bare bones, but there's like all the tools that make you good at exploration completely trivialize it and make it pointless. Like good berry, never have to forage for food again at the cost of 1 spell slot every day. Create or destroy water, same thing for water. Create food and water for the cost of a third. You do both. Rangers, never get lost again. In the correct environment, like I really hate it. Where is... This thing has... Well, it's 15 feet tall, and its arms are like 15 feet long, so I'm going to say it has a range of 15 feet. Yeah. 2d10 plus 6, that's 17. This is probably overtuned, but I'll bring it down. 2 tendril attacks. Hang on, where's the Glibbery Zoo? Because it has the text I want. Quite possibly, yeah. I'm not sure specifically how that would have worked, but yeah, there's probably a system somewhere that or a system that could have happened that would have actually worked quite well. Oh no, the bite goes at the top. More so the latter. I'm trying to sort of be faithful, but also you know, like breathe a bit more sort of uniqueness into like this creature I'm going to bring across. You know, it has regeneration. It can swallow people. Cool. I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to try and do something else as well. Yeah, I say looking through like 3.5 has very different scaling specifically in stats. I was saying earlier on where like stats in 5e are basically linear. You know, they go from 1 to 30. 3.5 stats are almost like an exponential curve almost, where it kind of goes up like that, where monsters kind of just reach this weird peak really early on of, like, the Tendriculous has like a strength of like 28 or some shit in 3.5. Yeah, 28 as like a CR6 creature, which is crazy. No, it's like, oh yeah, I'm talking specifically about like ability scores, like if you look at like there are no CR6 creatures in 5e with a strength higher than like 22. Hell, 22 is probably higher than the vast majority of them. I will find out. I will give you an exact answer as to how many there are with a higher than 20 strength as CR6 or lower, if I can find it. There we go. Strength above 20, challenge rating 6 or lower. There's a few. Most of them... A lot of creatures with 22 or 23. Oh, there's a creature with 26. That's definitely an outlier. 23. Another 22. And let's look for higher than 23. How many of those are there? Because if 22 is like the higher sensible limit, which ones break that? 24 or higher. There's two. There's the Mammoth, which has 24, and the Living Bigby's Hand, which has 26, because the spell Bigby's Hand has +8 strength. Like that's just, you know, that's the reason. And it just so happens to be CR4. Oh, because it only makes one attack. The Mammoth doesn't. Mammoths are brutal. Fuck. Okay. Mammoths will fuck you up. Does like 60 damage. 60? No. 50... 54. 54, I mean, it's 54 damage. That's a lot. Apparently so. I did not see any eyes in the art, which is what I was going off of. Yeah, I assumed that's... because... Is blind sight a thing in 3.5 or something like it? I assume it must be, but I couldn't find any reference to it. Admittedly, only a cursory guy went and looked at dragons, which I know have the blind sight in 5e, but I don't know if they have it in 3.5 or if it even exists. Tremor sense. Okay. I'll think about it then. One creature grappled by the Tendriculous. Hit. Need to take a break soon. I'm really hungry. I'll probably finish up this bite attack and then I'll go do that. I won't be too long. It'll be like 10 minutes or so. Yeah. That's basically how it works in 5e as well. Tremor Sense and Blind Sight are a little weird because they're worded very strangely. Yeah, so I've got the stat block open here, and it's weird. Like, it very blatantly doesn't have eyes. Like, the art does not depict it having eyes. The wiki doesn't mention anything about eyes either. It's really weird. I don't know. I might make the executive decision and say, fuck it, no, it has blind sight instead, because it doesn't have any eyes. But... oh, interesting. Yeah, I must be on a different site, because I'm just on like an SRD site for 3.5. The SRD for 3.5 is huge. Bite attack. Let me grab the Kraken, because the Kraken will have the similar text to what I want. I'm not going to use all of this text. That is large or small creature grappled. I can just do one target and just have a grapple. I have a bite attack. Tendriculoses. It's not going to be this much acid damage. 46? What is that? It's 14. Takes 25 or more damage. And let's look at the Behir as well. The Behir might have like a more sensible, like more sensible numbers. It's a slightly lower CR. Say slightly, notably lower CR. Oh, hang on. Is there an actual formula for this? Is it 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 8? Not particularly, no. That's where all my stuff is. There's not really been an exodus by any means. Not that I've heard of, at the very least. It's a mediocre site, to be perfectly honest with you, but it does mean that I can publish a whole bunch of I can publish all these 3.5 monsters with literally no recourse. So there's that. But yeah, the guild is. I mean, the website's shoddily designed, but the service is not terrible. Yeah. The guild is fit for purpose at the very least. It's got a lot of problems, but yeah. I mean, that's just how that be. It's not a great system by any means, but it is oh, should be slashing. But yeah, it's I don't know. It does its job, and without having some other shop platform elsewhere, which is probably not going to be trusted. It's kind of all you really got. It's either that or you get a drive through, and drive through is the same. It's like the same site. So. Except you have less access to game content. You get a slightly higher cut, but you also get drowned out by people making stuff for other systems and just other systems in general. Like there's itch, but people don't make 5e stuff on itch, and otherwise you're kind of fucked. It's kind of it. To my understanding, people don't really make 5e stuff for itch. It's, there are established creators like who have like a following, almost all of whom got their start on the guild, Sterling Vermin. Generally no, but again, like it just the one we've mostly just been talking about. Design stuff. And let me look at what's her Bavlorna Blightstraw. That's it. Blight something. Forgotten what her fucking name is. Is it Blightstraw? I think it's Blightstraw. It is. She has a swallow attack. No, she doesn't have the thing that I want. Yeah, drive-through has drive-through has an exclusive license and a non-exclusive license. If you take the exclusive license, you get a higher cut. I think you get an extra like 5 or 10%. But again, like the vast majority of stuff, it's like, where else are you gonna sell it? Is the main thing. Like there's fuck all else that you know. There's anywhere else is selling is there's no options. So the exclusivity license is kind of irrelevant as far as I'm concerned. Both on the guild and on drive-through, because there's nowhere else. Like, I guess if you're making another system like drive-through and itch, those are 2 options, but I'm not doing that, so it doesn't bother me. Right, let's go to the Behir. Oh, I guess we'll make this a bit more legible. It's 10 plus their con. It's yeah, it is actually, yeah. Right. So all these 2 attacks. Yeah, we could make the grapple an action and make it like 3d10 plus 3d10 is 11, 16, 22 damage, I think. Yeah. I think the main thing is it is the traditional combo is it grabs and then bites, so it can't just immediately swallow you. There are some creatures that can do that, but I do like the kind of 1-2 of it grabbing you and then having to bite you. The Tendriculous. Yeah, I'll consider it. Do they have before smashing it down to the ground? Tendriculous can see within its reach. Oh no, within. Fairly certain it just has Oh, paralysis is a toxin. Right, okay, that makes more sense. Okay, right. I think the main thing is it's you're stacking. It's like you would be getting grappled and you'd be restrained as part of the grapple, and then you would make a check to see if you get paralyzed as well. I'll definitely consider it, but as a thought, I have a thought, but I'll take a look. I'll think about it in a sec. 6 plus 3 is 9, so 9 plus 8 is 17. The main thing is this is just how these kind of grapple effects just work. Yeah, it's it's pulled at 50 feet in a straight line towards the Tendriculous and is grappled. It has 2 tendrils, each of which can grapple only 1 target. This is definitely gonna be a wide one. I'm gonna have to do that. This will sort itself out in a minute. Releases a burst of paralytic spores. The DC probably shouldn't be this high. This is a DC 17 save against AOE against paralysis. Is way too high. Even 15 feels like a lot. As it could paralyze for a round, but even that feels like a lot. That's super brutal. Because this is paralysis. This is auto crit territory of like the bite just tearing you to pieces. Yeah, the DC should not be 17. It should be like 11. Because then you would. Yo, yeah, no, I'm just spitballing stuff at the moment. This is a long way from going out. So around corners, each creature caught in the arrow must make a DC 11 Constitution saving throw. It will become paralyzed for 1 minute. Yeah, I think like a very low DC is probably a lot fairer. Namely, like, you know, this is an AoE paralysis. Someone is going to fail this, like, flat out. Someone is going to fail it. And that person is going to be the Tendriculoses' target for that turn. You know, like the fighter and the barbarian. But let me look at what does ghouls have a paralysis? There we go. Oh, hang on. Become poisoned for 1 minute. There we go. Because it's a spore thing, so it'd be a poison. So we'll go AC 15, because that's generally plant matter is about AC 15. And I was also going to give it false appearance, because this thing is just like a big bush. What does the Shambling Mound say? For this, because does it have false appearance? Shambling Mound does not have false appearance. It's actually kind of surprising. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna go grab food because I'm fucking starving. I'll be back in like 10 or 15 minutes. Obviously, people have to head off. That's all fine. I do this generally every Monday about 5 GMT anyway. But I'll be back. Yeah, sure. So thank you very much for following. I'll be back shortly. Just gonna go grab food. See you in a sec. Okay, I'm back. Right. I am, I think, relatively happy with the state this is in. I need to do numbers, I need to do hit points. But, like, it, ostensibly, I'm quite happy with. For now, at least. Now, let's look at the numbers. How much damage does this thing do? Because I'm pretty sure it's a lot. 62. That is a lot. As an offensive CR of 10. So yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Yeah, banishment will deal with this thing pretty easy. Oh god, I need to clear my throat. Fuck. Okay, right. Let's bring some of this damage down. Let's make the tendrils 2d6. That's 7, that's 13. And then let's make the bite 2d10, which is now 17. 17? Yes. So that's 20 plus 13 plus 26 plus 20. 39. There we go. That's a bit more sensible. Offensive CR 7. There we go. Because if this thing ends up not being CR 6, exactly the same as it is in 3.5, it kind of doesn't matter. CR 7. Oh well, that's. I guess I need to give it hit points as well. I haven't fucking done that yet. I mean, yes, but if it's CR7 instead of CR6, then it doesn't make a difference. If it's CR5 instead of CR6, it doesn't matter. Right, so hit points, this thing has no real resistances. It does have the big scary regeneration, so that is actually very significant. What CR are trolls? I think trolls are also CR7, so we might be able to just basically snag the troll hit point. CR5. Have the same AC, so that feels like a pretty sensible line to go down. So it has regeneration 10. And I guess, because it's huge, it has 18 constitution. That brings it to defensive CR5. Let's bring it down to there. Yeah, it has defensive CR5, but given that it has the troll regeneration, 100% like a lower defensive CR is the way to go here, especially because its offensive CR is quite high too. So that actually keeps it at CR6. So 10d12. 10d12 plus, so that's 40, 10d12 is... It's 105 total. What am I doing? It's literally my fucking CR calculator has it right here. Goddamn. This I'm very happy with. I'm very happy with this. Obviously, it's going to need some editing, some testing, stuff like that, but I'm quite happy with this thing. It's scary, but not quite like it's similar to the original Tendriculous from 3.5. However, it does have the grapple smash, which I'm a fan of. Like it, proper grabs you and then slams you over there. Which I am a fan of, and then the bite can get someone out of a fight immediately. Can put someone out of commission. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm gonna clear my fucking throat again. Jesus Christ. There we go. Right. So, next creature I think is probably going to be... So I'm going to do one more before I head off. It's going to be something smaller. I'm going to do my Tumbleweed monster. I don't know what that's going to look like right now, but we're going to find out. Very, very uninspired name, but I'm going to stick with it just for now. Oh, God, it's in my throat. Fuck. Oh, there we go. No idea yet. That's going to be that's going to be part of the quest, as it were. I have no fucking clue what this thing is going to do. Tumbleweed, that's pretty good. I'll agonize over names another time though. Oh. Yeah. See, I'm thinking that these things that tumbleweeds, the reason they tumble is they go with the wind and they drop seeds as they tumble, so they can literally plant seeds of themselves on the move, as opposed to other plants where they throw their seeds basically. Oh. So dexterity 20, strength 4. That's minus 3, I think. Yeah, 5 and 4 is minus 3. Con. No, these things are tough-ish. Intelligence, probably not very smart. We'll go with the same like in stats as the Tendriculus for now. Tumblethorn, let's not give it any of these just yet. Oh, this thing is an orb, it can't be knocked prone. That's the Tumblethorn is immune to falling damage. It doesn't need acrobatics. That's kind of dumb. I'm feeling this thing is like CR1 or like CR2. Like it's a low CR creature that they come at you in droves. So I'm gonna go 1 for now. I think that's 200 XP for CR1, if I remember correctly. It is. Oh no, not +2, +7. I should clear my throat. Fuck. This happens after I eat. Like I just have to clear my throat all the time. It's not fun. That's another thing, is flammable. An ignited Tumblethorn takes 5 damage at the start of each of its turns. We've got Firebolt. There we go. Do not set fire to the Tumblethorn. Under no circumstances do you set fire to the Tumblethorn. Like, yes, it will die. However, so will you. Let's give it a slam attack. That makes sense. That's plus 7 to hit. DC 10 constitutes saving throw become infested with Tumblethorn seeds. Its Carrion Stalker has this kind of ability. And you know, let's just go. That dies while infested. This I like. It's very simple, but I do like it. do like it. I think it might need something more, but I'm not sure. I think it might be okay. So it has 16 AC. I haven't given it hit points. Yeah, that's a thing. I'll do that in a minute. Well, it has +7 to hit, so that's pretty scary. And it does 7 to 9 damage. Let's put it A8. 8 damage is on the cusp of CR1, and it has a very high to hit. So yeah, I'd say that works out okay. Yeah, it's a very simple monster, but I do like it. Not 1d6, Christ no. We'll go 66 for now. 2 6s is, so that's 32 hit points. That might be a little much. $33. That puts it at CR1. Yeah. 33 hit points. I'm quite happy with that. I think this thing is very dumb, but it is really dangerous. It is I say welcome in. I'm now probably about to finish up, but I've indeed, as I've made a big like bush tentacle creature that paralyzes you and eats you. In Wild Beyond the Witchlight there is a dandelion. There is a dandelion knight. What is his name? Something the lion. Amador the dandelion, that's it. No, yeah, he's just like a knight. He has like a sword. Oh, it's him killing a thistle. Oh, that's great. Thistle monster. I'm gonna put that on my list. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how things have gone today. I'll be working more on this in my own time over the next sort of week or so. I'm probably going to stop here because I do have some other stuff I need to do tonight. I've had a good time with this though. It's been good fun. There will not be a stream this Friday because I have a D&D game that night, but I will definitely be back next Monday for more of this. I've been saying for forever now that I'm going to be streaming more during the week. I'm going to stream for a couple hours in the afternoon during the weekdays. However, I have so much shit going on right now. I have in this week I am running a game. I'm running 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm running 5 games this week, and it is a Monday, and I'm not running one today. So Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm running games. I have an unreasonable amount to do at the moment, and I need rest. More so than anything else, and to use my afternoons to prepare all the games that I'm running, so mostly just not rest, mostly just preparing games. But once things sort of settle down a bit, I have a campaign that's finishing quite soon, so I will have an extra evening to myself for a little while, and I have another campaign that will be finishing sometime in the new year. But either way, I want to stream more, and I'm going to make efforts to do so where I can. At the moment, it's going to mostly be working on Flower, because I'm enjoying this already. I think it's just a change of pace from designing constructs, all of which were basically this. Well, I say all, basically designing a million golems got real old, real fast. And whilst I'm proud of that book, I think it's a great book. There's a lot of cool shit in there. I'm very happy to be working on other things right now. Speaking of, you can hang on. Is it? Hang on, I don't think the bot is working. Let me just go grab a fucking link to my goddamn page. All of my nonsense is here. I've got books on Ravenloft, I've got books on monsters, I've got books on character options like spells and shit. Go take a look if you want. Don't have to, again, I'm just putting it there. Advertisement, whatever, I don't care. Do whatever you want. I'll be back potentially on Wednesday for Pokemon stuff, but it depends on how much shit I have to do. Because I have several large editing jobs and several games to run this week, so fun times there. I like it's enjoyable stuff. It's a lot. I'm gonna head off here. Hope folks enjoyed themselves. I will hopefully see people at the latest next Monday. See ya.